You got a Mk2 Volkswagen with no heat? It's probably not the heater core. Everybody thinks it is, but here's what happens. And when you didn't have the car from new, you wouldn't know this. But the previous owners got a bunch of stuff in their faces for like years. What I mean by that is in here, in your heater box, you will find that you have your hot-cold door, and you have a defroster slash vent door. These doors were supposed to be covered, or are covered from the factory, with foam, both sides. It's like a sandwich. The foam deteriorates after 20-something years, and it starts blowing the foam through the vents. But apparently people think it's normal for that to happen. And so this guy sold me the car, and he's like, it needs a heater core, you know. What about all the foam you got in your teeth? So, whatever. So I went through the whole heater core fiasco, and I'm like, look at this, all these holes punched in here. Is this supposed to be like this? Of course, I wasn't really sure. Well, upon doing more research, I found that the doors aren't supposed to have all these holes. It's supposed to be covered with foam. The holes are to facilitate the front and back of the foam adhering to each other. That's why the holes are there. So what happens is, one, you don't get any heat because path of least resistance, it just heads through the holes instead of getting diverted like this. Instead of getting diverted into your heater core, it just goes through the holes. So you get like 10% heat. The other thing is, you'll notice that you won't get full defrost. You'll get it'll come out of the defrost and the vents. Well, that's because this plate also lost its foam. So you don't have to pull the whole dash out to do it. You just got to get down in there. You got to pull this there's a diverter tube that goes here, brings it up to your vents here, and also supplies your little ducts over here. Okay, so you don't need to do, you don't have to go too crazy, but you got to get this far. I bought this stuff from Mk2. It's a fiberglass phenolic board, they call it. This is 1/16 of an inch thick. It's very, very durable. It's very hard, and it's very light, and it withstands 280 degrees. So there's no chance of this ever warping or getting funny on me, blah, blah, blah. So what you do is you got to cut it. The actual measurement for this is 4 1/8 wide by 7 3/8 long. Then you got to figure out how you're going to attach it. I don't use glue because it gets so hot, so I'm using rivets here. And what you do is, I've already measured like right here where this center beam is. I can get a pop rivet gun, one of the ones with the angle heads. It's got an adjustable swivel head on the top of it, so you can shoot rivets straight in. You don't need to have a 90-degree head on the rivet gun. So that's going to allow me to get 1, 2, 3, 4 rivets right down the middle. Well, it's not quite down the middle, it's right around here. How I did that was I measured over to the center webbing area here. I measured from the pit to the center, and then I measured here, got it there, and then also down. So right now I'm going to just do one hole. I'm going to use a Dremel to get in there and get the rest of the holes, 1, 2, 3, 4 down the middle, to complete this particular door, and then I'll move on to the vent door. But it's sure nice to get, I put some tape over there for a couple days because I didn't have time to do this, and oh wow, is it nice to have heat. So I'll show you that. Also, we're going to put rubber bumpers on here because this tends to rattle a little bit. When the foam was there, it didn't rattle, but now it does. So there you go. Don't freak out. Okay, so I have my 4 holes cut in here. Okay. And then I drilled my 4 holes. 2, 3, 4, all the way up. Now I could go over there to the side, but I can't get to the other side, so I figured it'd be half-ass symmetrical. And this is what you're gonna get. Okay, this is what you're done. This is what you're done. This is what the end result is. Let a little sunlight come in there, I guess. Maybe not. Okay. And then there's your door in the closed position for the cold. Or excuse me, that's the heat, and that's the cold. And the good thing is It definitely sits all the way down for the cold, which is nice. I can hear it. Oops, wrong door. So, sorry. There you go. Notice the bottom. See that bottom right hand corner of the door? I had to shave it a little bit. You see that? Because there's the other like wall of the other box. But there you go. That's a pretty good fit all the way around. Those measurements I gave you is pretty much your maximum. And you got to be careful when you're setting your holes that you shim it up just a little bit because it'll rub on the bottom. So that's it. 4 rivets. Will never come undone. Now we got to work on the other one. Alright, so I didn't even need to put any bumpers on there because it doesn't touch. It now rubs on those little ramps. There's one on the top. There's one on the bottom. And so here you go now. With all the lighting here. Okay. There's your full vent. This is your floor. And obviously your defrost is another door. No, so this blocks off. This makes it go to your feet. This makes it come out the vents. And that's mix between the two of them. Just like an AC blend. And then you're hot and cold in the back. So we are all set now. That's it.